as privatisation rolled out throughout the whole of Britain's transport system, the Western National franchise became part of the first group. In 2003, Western National was renamed to First Somerset and Avon, and that's how it stayed for many, many years. Like I said, as privatisation started to roll out over the whole of Britain's transport system, the Western National bus franchise was taken over by First. However, in 2003, this was renamed to First Somerset and Avon. First Somerset and Avon were responsible for many first bus routes and operations in and around Bristol, North Somerset, Weston-super-Mare, Bridgewater, Taunton, Wellington, Minehead and the Somerset levels such as Yeovil, Street, Glastonbury and back then, Wells. First Somerset and Avon were also responsible for all the Bristol local services and the Taunton town local bus services such as the Route 1 and 4. The Taunton local bus routes were, back then, the Route 1, which went from Pearland to Taunton Parade like it does now, but then extended onto Blackbrook and Holway, which is now the job of the new Route 6. The Route 2 roughly did what it does today, which goes from Taunton Parade to Priorswood. The Route 3 went from Bishopshold to Taunton Parade like it does now, but then extended up to Neville's Farm, which the Route 2 does now. And then finally there's the Route 4, which goes from Lane Estate to Astor, and then Taunton Parade, like it does now, but then it extended to the bus station, which is now closed, Musgrove Park Hospital, and Dormington. First Somerset and Avon operated a variety of long-distance and suburban buses. However, today we will be focusing on the ones that Buses of Somerset now operate. The rural and suburban routes that First Somerset and Avon used to run, and pretty much still run, are the routes 21, which went and still goes from Taunton to Burnham-on-Sea via Bridgewater, the Route 22 and 22A, which went from Taunton to Wellington, Rockwell Green and Tonedale, the Route 23, which went from Taunton to Bishop's Lydeard, Kingston St Mary, West Bagborough, Nether Stowey, Bridgewater and Willington, the Route 25 from Taunton to Dulverton via Wiveliscombe, the Route 26 which went from Taunton to Thoroughbare via Stoke St Mary, the Route 28 from Taunton to Minehead via Watchet, the Route 29 from Taunton to Wells via the Somerset levels and Glastonbury, the Route 30 which went from Taunton to Axminster via Ilminster and Ashiel, which it doesn't do anymore, which meant if my cousin was born a load of years earlier he would have had a bus. The Route 54 which went from Taunton to Yeovil via Somerton and still does, and the Route 92 which went from Taunton to Wellington to Uffcombe to Willand to Columpton to Tiverton and Exeter. Odd one that. Wow, that is a big long list of buses. And now, the fleet of First Somerset and Avon wasn't that great. However, it did consist a lot of old buses, including Claxton's, Old Dennis's and Leyland 90s buses, as well as the newish Wright buses. And now, in 2014, something amazing suddenly happened to the fleet. suddenly turned green. Wow, I think this is amazing. The buses of Somerset actually managed to get together and form an identity. All the buses were in an eye-catching colour scheme of green, green, cream and more green. However, this wouldn't stay for long. However, before we move on to that, there are some new routes that we have to talk about. Firstly, more routes had been added to the Taunton local buses franchise, which was now the Buses of Taunton. First of all, I'm just going to start off with listing all the routes and see if you notice any changes. So first of all, the route 1 goes between Taunton and Purland. The route 2 goes between Taunton and Priorswood. The route 3 goes between Taunton and Bishop's Hull. The route 4 goes between Lane Estate and Taunton. Lane Estate being near the Asda. The route 6, which goes between Holway and Taunton, and the route 7 between Garmington and Taunton. Now we go on to the entire Buses of Somerset franchise. Now, we have sadly had to say goodbye to a lot of routes. Now, firstly on to the Route 92, which was so long it was absolutely pointless. It went between Taunton, Tiverton and Exeter, via Wellington and Cullompton, as well as Uffculme. However, a few routes have been added as well. The Route 99 has been added, going between Taunton and Chard via Buckland St Mary. Also, the Route 14 has been added, which goes between Bridgewater and Cannington, and sometimes Netherstowey. That is it. And also the 75, which goes between Bridgewater and Wells via Glastonbury and the Polden Hills. Also, a few of the Yeovil local routes have been added, such as the 51 and the 53. Also, the route Y6, which goes between Yeovil and Crewkerne and Beaminster and Bridport, has also been partly added, as that is now partly run with First Wessex, which is the franchise down in Weymouth and Dorchester. Also, the route X10 has been added, going between Yeovil and Burnford Forum, and the route 58 and 58A, which goes between Yeovil and Wincanton via places along that road, such as Sherborne. Achoo! Sorry. COVID's hit the world, and unfortunately, something tragic has happened to Buses of Somerset. All their old buses have gone, and the buses that are left are either being repainted into the new Buses of Somerset livery. Yes, they've gone and done it again. The old livery, which you're seeing here, or are still in the first group livery. However, something even more tragic has happened. Taunton bus station has closed. Yep, Taunton bus station had to close due to money problems. Didn't we all have money shortages? Now, the Buses of Somerset had once again got a bit disorganised, and this is pretty much how it's standing today. So then, half of Buses of Somerset's buses are in old first group retired bus company liveries, or are either in the first group livery or in a franchise livery, such as the Quantock line, green from Buses of Somerset or Route 21, or are in the old Buses of Somerset livery, or just in some other random colours. Okay, so that is it from me. I knew I said I wouldn't do a video this weekend, but I am so bored just waiting for London to come round. Also, I didn't want this afternoon to go to waste, as It's pretty much an extra hour or two off of school as it's the festive period holiday. And also, you may have noticed I have skipped a bit, but that is because it's taken so long to edit this. I mean, it's taken, 4 hours. Like I said, you may have noticed that I've missed a bit, and that bit is the Taunton's Town Buses bit and the Taunton's Park and Ride bit. Just for a brief summary, in 2020, when the bus station closed down, as well as loads of routes coming and closing and stuff like that, the buses of Taunton were renamed to Taunton's Town Buses, and the Taunton Park and Ride got a new colour scheme, and up to this day, instead of being white and having green stripes, it's now orange and purple. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I do miss some of the old buses that used to run round, even when I was a young kid. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the Buses of Somerset. Bye!